those years, our defense was pretty tough.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the mindset that we're getting back to now is, getting a lot of the big-time defensive guys in here and playing the game the right way.
Hello, everyone. Welcome into the TexAgs Rewind, presented by Specs here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Very somber mood here because 3 people in the chat or on the comments said, I could do without, the commentary. I just want the sports. Nick, what was your favorite part of the show today?
It was Olin Buchanan.
Can you give me a specific football reason?
No, because they don't want any banter. So.
Oh, okay. So don't. But Olin Buchanan. Okay. Callie Gardner, can you tell me your favorite part of the show, please?
It was John Harris.
Sorry, what was that again?
John Harris.
Can you give me a particular reason?
He's funny. He gave us some
too much banter. Wrap it up.
Highlights.
Wrap it up. Too much banter.
Wrap it up. There's a joke there, but I won't go there. All right. Check out no joking.
Hey now.
Straight, serious sports talk here. Football. Check it. Offensive line, and I just believe in Connor Wigman. Sorry, I do. I believe in Mike Elko. Sorry, I do.
Do we believe that A&M is even better on defense this year than they were last year?
I believe that they are better on defense this year than they were last year, yes. And I can give you multiple reasons why.
Yeah.
The linebacker, I can't say they're better.
Right. They're not going to be.
They might be really good, though.
Yeah. So I was just looking up something today about Notre Dame. And their losses last year, the teams they lost to were
Louisville,
which was number 10 in the nation in rushing defense. They also lost to Ohio State, which was number 29 in the nation in rushing defense.
Okay.
And they lost to Clemson, which was number 24
in rushing
in
defense.
the nation last year in rushing defense.
What was A&M in rushing defense?
A&M was 14. And that all that tells me is that if they struggle to run, they become vulnerable. And we think A&M, which was 14th against the run last year, maybe it was somewhat deception because maybe
of the secondary.
People threw more.
Yeah.
But that Notre Dame team had 2 first-round draft choices. A first-round and a second-round draft choice at tackle that aren't there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So plus a 235-pound running back that was taking the draft. Estimate,
yeah.
Let's
estimate his name.
Yeah. So anyway, just something to think about as the matchup. So if A&M can limit Notre Dame's running game.
But I want to ask about Layden Robinson. You saw him with New England. He looked like a different player. So when we talk about coaching, the few months that he's been there, is there enough time to fix a person or fix a scheme or fix an offensive line in the offseason? And I'm asking about this particular offensive line that maybe wasn't used to the best of their abilities over the last couple of years. There's some new pieces, but Adam Cushing putting his stamp on it. Is there enough time to see a night and day offensive line when we get to Notre Dame?
Yeah, I don't know about getting to Notre Dame. You'll see night and day, but I do think you will see improvements, and you can see changes. And sometimes it's as simple as, like, I take Bill Callahan for instance. Like, Bill Callahan is one of the great offensive line coaches ever, and he was with the Browns, and then the Browns, I think he was with the Browns, and the Browns allowed him to go to the Titans because his son Brian Callahan took over as the offensive line coach. I was watching a video, and Bill Callahan, I don't know if you remember this about Mike Tyson, David. Back in the 80s, Mike Tyson did a training regimen, and they trained him with like a box, and it had 9 different squares, and they numbered the box. And so they would say, Kevin Rooney would say 913. And so Tyson would have to throw a combination based on where the numbers were, 913. And he had that memorized. He had that down. And so that was the way that he trained him. Well, Bill Callahan kind of put together the system where he basically gave each different pass protection maneuver a different name or number. And so he could teach his guys, hey, that's a 113, or, hey, that's a 25, or however he classified it. And so players are like, okay, I know what that is. And so it was a lot quicker and they were a lot quicker to adapt to his teachings once they kind of learned the system that he was kind of training them with.
Let's do a little look back. Rocky Bernard is here in studio to break down the current A&M team, and of course we'll look back a little bit. Rocky, how you doing, bud?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for coming in. So, Coach Oko, it's I don't want to make comparisons to RC, right? Because RC is a different kind of legend in my eyes. But what I love about Coach Oko so far, defensive-minded guy that gets his players. Isn't that kind of like, when you talk about RC, that kind of guy?
Oh, that was definitely the mentality, especially when I was in school. Those years, our defense was pretty tough,
Yeah.
and I think that's kind of the mindset that we're getting back to now. Is getting a lot of the big time defensive guys in here and playing the game the right way.
So I don't think that analysts should decide. I think fans and former players should decide on like wrecking crew. Like, do you want your era, 80s and 90s, to be the wrecking crew, or you like the idea all great A&M defenses are the wrecking crew?
At least have that mentality,
Yeah.
of the wrecking crew. I don't know if they call themselves that anymore, but definitely the mentality was, we were going to come in and you're not going to score very many points on us, and like I said, hopefully they get back to that culture of playing great defense.
We haven't had a defensive-minded coach since RC. So now, and Coach Oko, his defenses have been on display. Not only here, he did it at Notre Dame, he did it at A&M, he did it at Duke, and now he's back.
Right. And hopefully he'll do it here.
Yeah.
That's the expectation that everybody has. And, I think he's a great enough coach to get that done.
How frustrating have the last few years been?
It's been tough, to watch because I just think the expectations are there, and of course we have all the resources, with the facilities, and we definitely had great recruiting classes, but for whatever reason it hasn't transferred over to a lot of big time wins. But I think that we have the right people in place to get that done in these next few years coming up.
Michael Fasusi, he's going to commit on August 21st. It's between OU, A&M, and Texas. How do things stand right now?
But I do want to say he does have Oregon and Mizzou rounding out his top 5.
Okay.
But he has admitted OU, Texas, and A&M are above the rest right now. A&M is the one that tends to get slept on a little bit out of that top 3, and there seems to be more national buzz surrounding Oklahoma and Texas in terms of Michael Fasusi and where he's going to go. But I'm not counting out the Aggies just yet. He's maintained a lot of communication with the Aggies over the last several weeks, last week, and I expect that to continue as he all the way up until his announcement date. I tend to lean towards OU, Texas, and A&M running third right there, just mainly because of that outside buzz. But I do caution. That's going to be one to keep an eye on. A&M still a factor there.
All right, what about Jonah Williams? What's the latest with him?
Again, Texas A&M, LSU, Oregon, Texas, USC is top 5 going into his August 24th commitment date. I've been hearing quite a bit of A&M smoke. Texas, there's been some stuff on social media, and Jonah's kind of doing his thing, showing a lot more interest there with the Longhorns. But I think it probably comes down to A&M, LSU, Oregon, and Texas, the main schools in the mix there. And I like where A&M's situated at right now. Coach Elko's done a really good job there. They've done the whole staff. Aristide he made a name for himself as a recruiter last time he was at A&M, and I think he's done a phenomenal job on that front already in 26, and he's helping lead those efforts along with guys like Mason Smith and some of those recruiting staffers out there have done a lot of heavy lifting. And I think you're going to see the Aggies be right there in the mix. I would give them the edge a little bit right now.
All right, this is not bantering, saying goodbye. We're just going to tell you what you should do when you watch a YouTube page, Callie, in a very nice, not too much fun kind of way. Just tell the people what they should do.
Like, comment, subscribe, share, and tell your friends if you have any.
That was a shot. They have friends. All right. Okay. Is that a shot at me because I don't have a lot of friends in College Station?
No, you're going to lunch with some friends.
No banter. Sorry.
You asked me a question.
Sorry. We'll see you next time. Football, football, football.